Hello and welcome to the Select Board update for the meeting that happened on Wednesday, February 17th. We started our meeting at 6:30 in executive session, reviewing and approving executive session minutes that were then released during our general session starting at 7. We started with some citizens participation and then we moved into recognizing the retirement of Paula Benetti. Paula has been the library director since 2002 here in Ashland. She helped us go through the building project and then also with the help of town manager Tony Schiavi and assistant town manager Michael Herbert at the time through funding was able to get us off the waiver list and got us fully accredited. From there, we had a very lengthy discussion about our Valentine Committee, the role that they've already accomplished and what they are maybe looking to finish. We also had many members of the community participate in that discussion. We even had a few actual Valentine, so the family members of the people that the barn and the house was named after, attend and speak at our meeting. From there, we got a very detailed update about our downtown project from BSC. They are the project managers. Unfortunately, one of the biggest issues they discussed was the difference between their original budget and forecast of what the project was going to cost and what the project is actually going to cost us. So we are working with EVERSOURCE. We are working with a number of other options to see about getting funding to finish that project. We have reviewed and approved a few items in our consent agenda. We then moved into old and new business. The first thing we talked about was a correspondence with EverSource that Michael Herbert is going to be writing a letter for us to send to EverSource to follow up for some of these issues that were related to downtown and the pricing. We then discussed and approved an intermunicipal agreement for nursing services. These are health services that our health director will be working on. We are working with the communities of Framingham, Holliston, and Hudson to create this intermunicipal group similar to our veterans agency. We then did a quick review of the energy savings on our performance contract with Amoresco. We are in year 3 of a 20-year contract. The full report will be available up on the town website shortly so that you can look through it. But basically, they have been saving us money based on some of the work that they've done in regards to exchanging some boilers, as well as some lighting fixtures, and also some solar work. So full detailed report is very interesting. We then discussed and had an update on our racial justice initiative. There is a group of residents working with Jen Ball, our assistant town manager, and we're going to be bringing in a consultant to help us look at racial inequities and how we can bring that information and bring awareness of it in our community. We then discussed the timing and opening of the 2021 annual town meeting. Our town meeting by charter is supposed to happen on the first Wednesday in May. We can decide as select board working with our town moderator to move that out. There has been indication that we're probably going to be looking to move it into June so that we can do it outside, potentially out on the football field, to make it a little safer and to allow more residents to participate in a way that they feel more comfortable. We then did an acceptance of a sewer bond for the MWRA. This is for a connection that we've worked on. We then did an update, quick review, schedule changes for the MBTA. Rob Scherer on the select board is on the advisory board for the MBTA here in Ashland, or represents Ashland. And they are looking at some schedule changes, and there are sessions. There was one this week, and there'll be one in the week of February 24th. So if you want to check that out. We also discussed our volunteer breakfast. Typically, first or second Saturday in March, we get all volunteers, people who have volunteered on committees here in town, who that the select board has appointed, or even some of the elected boards that we don't appoint, but people who volunteer and help make Ashland Ashland. And we come together typically at the community center and have a breakfast and share and chat and get to know each other. And we are going to be scheduling something for that, but it'll be over Zoom. And we talked about what we want to do to recognize our volunteers. So if you are a volunteer, be on the lookout for when that date will be coming. We then discussed some open meeting law complaints that have been filed against the select board. One was about meeting minutes that had not been posted. Most of them had been approved, but they were not up on the website. So some of that change has been going on. We also, because of some uh, not enough detailed information on some of our agendas, so we continue to work on that. And we have asked Michael Herbert and Assistant Town Manager Jen Ball to continue working on that and keeping us up to date. We then went into our priority project updates over on the Rail Transit District on now Memorial Drive, used to be the MBTA access road. UGC is going to be going before our ZBA for their plans for their construction of their over 62 project that will be going up there. Downtown, we had gone into much detail when we talked to BSC previously in the meeting. Public safety, they are in the process of getting ready to hire their project manager and move things there. Mendez as similar. They're getting ready to hire their construction manager. Warren District and Valentine Estate, we had a lengthy discussion at the beginning of the meeting regarding the Valentine Estate, so no new updates there. And Warren District, we are still trying to figure out what we can do to get the barn rebuilt because it did come in over budget. Route 126 project. This was an exciting one for me. I've been here since, maybe not completely since the beginning, but certainly since the town has been actively working with the state to get Route 126 revitalized and reworked. And that project will be starting in about a week or so. You'll start seeing some trees coming down where they need to widen the road and widen some access because both sides will be having sidewalks and bike lanes and new lighting from end to end, from the Holliston end all the way to the Framingham end. It's going to be a completely new road, and it will make it so much easier for residents in that area and even not in that area to then walk and bike on Route 126. It'll be a 2-year project, so it's going to take a little patience, but the end result is going to be amazing for the town of Ashland. From there, we talked about the MBTA service update. Again, there's some changes happening. They're still being reviewed. If you are affected or if you take the train, make sure you check out their information on their website and give your feedback on those service changes. We then had an update on COVID and vaccinations. It's been frustrating for town manager Michael Herbert and Ed Berman from our COVID task force. They are working with some other communities, but we're not always getting vaccines on a weekly basis. It's not like we know that, okay, this week we're definitely getting 100. Sometimes we get 110, sometimes we don't get any. So their frustration is your frustration. And certainly now that as of this date, it is open to those 65 and older. So make sure you're on any mailing lists from the town. And if you are looking to get your vaccination through town, reach out to the COVID task force. Fiscal 22 budget update. The schools are working toward their portion. We are working toward ours. I know the town manager has met with our finance committee in regards to looking at budgets and trying to determine what income we will have, not just from our taxes, from real estate taxes, but from the state and from the federal government. And that was it. We had some lengthy discussions, so we wrapped up around 10:30 last night on the 17th. So if you want to see any of the detailed conversations, you can go back to WACA TV and catch the replays or go to our website and you can find them there. And that was the select board meeting for Wednesday, February 17th.